Alrighty, this is your Unit 6, Day 1 homework assignment tutorial. I will just work a few problems with you. The first problem is number 1. You gotta solve the proportion, and you're gonna solve the proportion by using cross multiplication. First thing I would multiply is 8 and x to give me 8x. Then it would be equal to the product of 5 and 12. 5 times 12 would give me 60. Then divide by 2. I'm going to say divide by 8. 60. Is 7.5. So x equals 7.5. Alright, on number 2, same idea. So this time you're going to multiply 9 with x plus 2. And 8 with 3, which would give you 24. Then you have to distribute the 9 into the parentheses, so that means it would end up being 9x plus 18 equals 24. Then you subtract 18 on both sides, which would leave it with 9x is equal to 6. And then divide both sides by 9. So 6 divided by 9 is going to give you 0.66. So in other words, 0.67. Or 2/3 as an exact answer. Okay, on number 5, it tells you the ratio of the measures of the three angles of the triangle is 4 to 5 to 6. It wants you to find the measure of each angle. So on this one, it would be 4x plus 5x plus 6x is equal to 180. Reason being because all the angles are supposed to add up to equal 180. So that would be 4 plus 5, which is 9, plus 6, which is 15x, equals 180. So then you would divide by 15. So x equals 180 divided by 15 is 12. And then it wants you to find the measure of each angle. So we have to take 12 and substitute it back in. So the first angle would be 4 times 12, which is 48 degrees. The second one would be 5 times 12, which is 60 degrees. And the last one would be 6 times 12, which is 72 degrees. So those are all three of the angles. Number 6, it says the ratio of the measures of the sides of a triangle is 3 to 4 to x, and its perimeter is 104 feet. So this one, it gives you the sides and the perimeter, which is 104. So it's a similar idea. We're going to do 3x plus 4x plus 6x is equal to 104, not 180, because 180 is only for angles. So that means 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 6 is 13x equals 104. Then divide both sides by 13. So x would be 104 divided by 13, which is 8. And then it wants you to find the measure of each side. So again, you have to substitute it back. So the first side would be 3 times 8, which is 24. And we're talking feet. The next one is 4 times 8, which is 32 feet. Make sure you label with the correct units. And the last one is 6 times 8, which is 48 feet. For number 9 through 12, they want you to determine whether the angles are all congruent, and then determine if all the corresponding sides are proportional, and then write the similarity statement if possible, and name the similarity ratio. So first things first, I'll look at the single angle. For the first one would be angle J, and angle J is congruent to angle Q. Then I know that angle K is congruent to angle R. I know that angle L is congruent to angle S. And I know that angle M is congruent to angle P. So those are all the angles. Now, if the sides are similar, that means that JK is proportional to QR, KL is going to be proportional to RS, LM will be proportional to SP, and lastly, JM is proportional to QP. Now, I would actually have to reduce the ratios to prove if they're similar. So I need to substitute the numbers now. So JK is equal to 20. QR is equal to 12. KL is equal to 15. And RS is equal to 9. LM is 24. SP is 14.4. JM is 24. I'm sorry, 25. And QP is 15. So now I need to actually carry out the division. So 20 divided by 12 is equal to 1.67. All right. Now let's see what 15 divided by 9 is. Again, 1.67. Now, 24 divided by 14.4. 1.67. And 25 divided by 15. It's also 1.67. If any one of these was wrong, was not the same, then the figures are not proportional. So since they are all proportional, we can write our similarity statement. The similarity statement would be written as follows. Parallelogram J, K, L, M is similar to parallelogram Q, R, S, P, where the similarity ratio is 1.67, which is the same thing as 5/3. I did left to right. So again, 10, 11, and 12 works just the same. You got to do the same amount of steps for everyone. Okay, number 13. It already tells us that the figures are similar. We just need to find the value of x. So when I look at number 13, I know that AB is proportional to EF. I know that BC is proportional to FG. I know that CD is proportional to GH. And I know that AD is proportional to EH. I just need to take two ratios that involve X and some two perfectly good one perfectly good fraction in order to make this work. So when I look at it, X is on the side HG. So I would need to use this ratio and at least one other one because every side is labeled on these figures, so that helps out a lot. So it doesn't matter which other one I want to use, I'll still get the same answer. So let's say I start with the first one. Why not? So that means AB, which is 12, EF is 6, should equal CD, which is 13, over GH, which is X. And now we can solve our proportion so we can find x. So we cross multiply, so 12 times x is 12x is equal to 6 times 13. $78. And we divide both sides by 12. So x is equal to 78 divided by 12, which is 6.5. All right, now to number 15. Again, I would do a similar thing like I did with the first one first. So on this one, we have PQ is proportional to UV. The reason I know is because I'm looking at the angles and how many arcs they have. Then I would have QR is proportional to VW. RS is proportional to WT. And PS is proportional to UT. So again, only two of these will be helpful right now. So the two I need involve PQ and UV and RS and WT. So PQ is 5, UV is 10/3, and that's supposed to equal RS, which is 9, over WT, which is x plus 1. So again, as always, we're going to cross multiply. So the first thing I'm going to multiply is 5 with x plus 1. Set it equal to the product of 9 and 10/3. All right, so now I need to distribute 5x plus 5. And then now I multiply 9 by 10/3. Most of y'all would probably grab a calculator, but this is so easy to do without one because it would be 90 divided by 3, which ends up being 30. Because 9 is 9 over 1, and you multiply a fraction straight across. Now I'm going to subtract 5, so that's 5x equal to 25, and divide both sides by 5, so x is equal to 5. And last but not least, number 17. On number 17, I have AB proportional to LM. I have BC is proportional to MN. I have CD is proportional to NP. And lastly, AD is proportional to LP. So the two ratios that are most helpful right now would be AB and LM and CB and MN. So that means I would have 14 is to x plus 9. It should be the same as 10 is to x plus 6. So now let's cross multiply. So this is 14 times x plus 6, and it's equal to 10 times x plus 9, which would give you 14x plus 14 times 6, 84, equals 10x plus 90. I would subtract 10 from both 10x from both sides, which would leave me with 4x plus 84 equals 90. Then I would subtract 84 from both sides, which would leave me with 4x is equal to 6, and divide both sides by 4, so x is equal to 3 halves, which is the same thing as 1.5. And this concludes your tutorial.